Let's get ready for the Louisiana real estate exam with 100 questions covering key state laws, principles, and practices you'll need to know. And keep an eye on the bottom corner. There's something there that could make a big difference in your prep. We'll tell you how to use it in just a minute. Now, let's get started.
Let's start with a review of licensing requirements and procedures. Louisiana licensing requirements and procedures. What is the minimum age requirement to obtain a real estate license in Louisiana? Is it A, 16 years, B, 18 years, C, 21 years, or D, 25 years? The answer is B, 18 years. In Louisiana, applicants must be at least 18 years old to qualify for a real estate license. This requirement ensures that licensees have reached the age of majority and can legally enter into contracts. Which of the following is a requirement for a Louisiana real estate salesperson license? Is it A, 120 hours of pre-license education, B, passing the national portion of the exam only, C, 90 hours of pre-license education, or D, completion of a 4-year college degree? The answer is C, 90 hours of pre-license education. Louisiana requires completion of 90 hours of pre-license education for a real estate salesperson license. This ensures applicants have a foundational understanding of real estate principles and practices.
Have you noticed the code in the bottom corner? Next time you're stumped, take that code to birdsy.ai for immediate help and a free study session with Birdsy, your personal AI study partner. Plus, you'll get access to hundreds of additional questions, helping you move closer to passing your exam with confidence. The next time you're feeling unsure or stuck, give it a try.
How often must a Louisiana real estate license be renewed? Is it A, annually, B, biennially, C, every 5 years, or D, every 10 years? The answer is A, annually. Louisiana real estate licenses must be renewed annually. This process ensures that licensees remain compliant with current regulations and continue their education to stay informed of changes in the industry. What is the required pre-licensing education for a real estate salesperson in Louisiana? Is it A, 60 hours, B, 75 hours, C, 90 hours, or D, 120 hours? The answer is C, 90 hours. In Louisiana, aspiring real estate salespersons must complete 90 hours of pre-licensing education. This requirement ensures that candidates have a foundational understanding of real estate principles and practices before obtaining their license. Continuing education requirements. How often must a licensed real estate professional complete continuing education requirements in Louisiana? Is it A, every 2 years, B, annually, C, every 3 years, or D, every 5 years? The answer is B, annually. In Louisiana, licensed real estate professionals are required to complete continuing education annually to maintain their license. This ensures they stay updated with industry changes and regulations. What is the minimum number of continuing education hours required for license renewal in Louisiana? Is it A, 12 hours, B, 15 hours, C, 10 hours, or D, 20 hours? The answer is A, 12 hours. Louisiana requires real estate professionals to complete a minimum of 12 hours of continuing education annually. This ensures they are up to date with the latest industry practices and laws. Which of the following topics is mandatory in the continuing education curriculum for Louisiana real estate licensees? Is it A, marketing strategies, B, real estate finance, C, ethics, or D, property management? The answer is C, ethics. Ethics is a mandatory component of the continuing education curriculum in Louisiana, ensuring licensees maintain high professional standards and understand ethical guidelines. What happens if a Louisiana real estate licensee fails to complete their continuing education requirements on time? Is it A, a fine is imposed, B, license is suspended, C, license is revoked permanently, or D, license becomes inactive? The answer is D, license becomes inactive. Failure to complete continuing education requirements results in the inability to renew the license, rendering the license inactive until the requirements are met. Louisiana real estate laws and regulations. Louisiana-Specific fair housing laws. Which of the following is a protected class under Louisiana's fair housing laws? Is it A, occupation, B, marital status, C, disability, or D, education level? The answer is C, disability. Louisiana's fair housing laws protect individuals from discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, national origin, disability, and familial status. These protections align with federal fair housing laws. What is the primary purpose of Louisiana's fair housing laws? Is it A, to regulate housing prices, B, to prevent discrimination in housing, C, to control property development, or D, to manage rental agreements? The answer is B, to prevent discrimination in housing. The primary purpose of Louisiana's fair housing laws is to prevent discrimination in housing-related activities, ensuring equal opportunity and access to housing for all protected classes. In Louisiana, which agency is responsible for enforcing fair housing laws? Is it A, Louisiana Department of Justice, B, Louisiana Real Estate Commission, C, Louisiana Housing Corporation, or D, Louisiana Department of Revenue? The answer is A, Louisiana Department of Justice. The Louisiana Department of Justice is tasked with enforcing fair housing laws, ensuring compliance, and addressing violations through legal action and public education. Which of the following actions would be considered discriminatory under Louisiana's fair housing laws? Is it A, refusing to rent to someone with pets, B, setting income requirements for tenants, C, charging a late fee for rent, or D, refusing to rent based on national origin? The answer is D, refusing to rent based on national origin. Refusing to rent to someone based on their national origin is discriminatory under Louisiana's fair housing laws, which protect against discrimination in housing based on several protected characteristics. How does Louisiana's fair housing law address familial status? Is it A, allows restrictions on family size, B, permits landlords to refuse families with children, C, prohibits discrimination against families with children, or D, requires landlords to provide child-friendly amenities? The answer is C, prohibits discrimination against families with children. Familial status protection under Louisiana's fair housing law prohibits discrimination against families with children under 18, pregnant women, or individuals securing custody of a child. Under Louisiana's fair housing laws, which of the following is considered discriminatory advertising? Is it A, listing property features, B, using neutral language, C, stating no children allowed, or D, providing contact information? The answer is C, stating no children allowed. Discriminatory advertising in Louisiana includes any language that suggests a preference or limitation based on race, color, religion, sex, disability, familial status, or national origin. Louisiana-specific contract requirements. What is required for a real estate contract to be enforceable under Louisiana law? Is it A, verbal agreement, B, written and signed by all parties, C, witnessed by a notary, or D, registered with the local parish? The answer is B, written and signed by all parties. In Louisiana, a real estate contract must be in writing and signed by all parties involved to be enforceable. This ensures clarity and legal standing under the state's civil law system. Which of the following is a unique requirement for real estate contracts in Louisiana? Is it A, a lawful cause, B, a witness signature, C, a standard form, or D, an attorney's approval? The answer is A, a lawful cause. Louisiana requires a cause or reason for the contract, distinct from other states that follow common law. This stems from its civil law tradition, ensuring contracts have a lawful purpose. In Louisiana, which party is typically responsible for disclosing property defects in a real estate transaction? Is it A, the buyer, B, the seller, C, the real estate agent, or D, the home inspector? The answer is B, the seller. Sellers in Louisiana are legally obligated to disclose known material defects in the property. This requirement helps protect buyers and ensures transparency in real estate transactions. What is the minimum deposit required in a Louisiana real estate purchase agreement? Is it A, 5% of the purchase price, B, $1,000, C, $500, or D, no minimum required by law? The answer is D, no minimum required by law. Louisiana law does not mandate a specific minimum deposit for real estate transactions, allowing parties to negotiate terms that suit their circumstances. This flexibility is typical in civil law jurisdictions. How does Louisiana law treat the concept of earnest money in real estate contracts? Is it A, as a refundable deposit, B, as a non-refundable fee, C, as liquidated damages, or D, as a down payment? The answer is C, as liquidated damages. In Louisiana, earnest money serves as liquidated damages in case of a breach, meaning the seller keeps the deposit if the buyer defaults, or the buyer gets it back if the seller defaults. Under Louisiana law, what must be included in a real estate contract to ensure it is legally binding? Is it A, a notarized signature, B, agreement of the parties, C, a witness signature, or D, a deposit? The answer is B, agreement of the parties. In Louisiana, a real estate contract must include the agreement of the parties, a lawful object, and a lawful cause to be legally binding. These elements ensure the contract's enforceability.
If you're finding this helpful, please take a minute to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more practice exams, useful tips, and complimentary study sessions with Birdsy.
Overview of Louisiana real estate statutes. What is the primary purpose of the Louisiana Real Estate Commission? Is it A, to set property tax rates, B, to regulate and enforce real estate laws, C, to provide home loans, or D, to manage public housing? The answer is B, to regulate and enforce real estate laws. The Louisiana Real Estate Commission is responsible for regulating and enforcing real estate laws to ensure compliance and protect consumers. They oversee licensing, education, and disciplinary actions. Which of the following is a requirement for obtaining a real estate license in Louisiana? Is it A, owning property in Louisiana, B, having a college degree, C, completing a 90-hour pre-licensing course, or D, being a resident of Louisiana for at least 5 years? The answer is C, completing a 90-hour pre-licensing course. Applicants must complete a 90-hour pre-licensing course and pass the state licensing exam. This ensures they understand the statutes and regulations governing real estate transactions. What is the statutory period for adverse possession in Louisiana? Is it A, 30 years, B, 10 years, C, 15 years, or D, 20 years? The answer is A, 30 years. In Louisiana, the statutory period for adverse possession is 30 years. This requires continuous, open, and notorious possession of the property. Under Louisiana law, what is required for a valid contract in real estate transactions? Is it A, a witness signature, B, a notarized document, C, a verbal agreement, or D, offer, acceptance, consideration, legal capacity, and lawful purpose? The answer is D, offer, acceptance, consideration, legal capacity, and lawful purpose. A valid contract in Louisiana requires offer, acceptance, consideration, legal capacity, and lawful purpose. These elements ensure the contract is enforceable by law. What is required for a real estate transaction to be legally binding in Louisiana? Is it A, a written agreement, B, a verbal agreement, C, an escrow account, or D, a witness signature? The answer is A, a written agreement. A legally binding real estate transaction in Louisiana must include a written agreement, as oral agreements are not enforceable under the state's statute of frauds. Louisiana property ownership and land use. Types of property ownership, e.g., fee simple, leasehold, joint tenancy. In Louisiana, which type of property ownership allows an individual to have the complete bundle of rights, including the right to use, sell, or lease the property indefinitely? Is it A, fee simple, B, leasehold, C, joint tenancy, or D, tenancy in common? The answer is A, fee simple. Fee simple ownership is the most complete form of property ownership, providing the owner with full rights to use, sell, or lease the property indefinitely, subject only to local zoning laws. What is the primary characteristic of a leasehold estate in Louisiana property law? Is it A, permanent ownership, B, full transferability, C, joint ownership, or D, temporary use rights? The answer is D, temporary use rights. A leasehold estate is characterized by the temporary right to occupy or use land or property, typically under a lease agreement, without ownership of the land itself. In Louisiana, which type of property ownership allows two or more people to own property together with the right of survivorship? Is it A, tenancy by the entirety, B, tenancy in common, C, joint tenancy, or D, fee simple? The answer is C, joint tenancy. Joint tenancy in Louisiana allows co-owners to have equal ownership shares with the right of survivorship, meaning if one owner dies, their share is automatically transferred to the surviving owners. Which form of ownership in Louisiana allows each owner to hold an undivided interest in the property that can be sold or inherited independently? Is it A, joint tenancy, B, tenancy in common, C, community property, or D, leasehold? The answer is B, tenancy in common. Tenancy in common allows co-owners to hold distinct, undivided interests in the property, which can be sold or inherited independently, providing flexibility in ownership rights.
Stuck on a question? Just think of the Birdsy link in the description as your friendly neighborhood superhero, swooping in to save the day with answers. Feel free to explore it now and return to continue. Simply hit pause, and we'll be waiting when you get back.
Public versus private land use controls. Which of the following is a primary function of public land use controls in Louisiana? Is it A, to increase private property taxes, B, to regulate land use for public benefit, C, to enhance private property rights, or D, to restrict government development projects? The answer is B, to regulate land use for public benefit. Public land use controls, such as zoning, regulate land use to ensure orderly development, protect property values, and promote public health and safety. These regulations are implemented by government entities. What is the main difference between public and private land use controls in Louisiana? Is it A, public controls are voluntary, private controls are mandatory? B, private controls apply to public lands, public controls to private lands? C. Public controls are temporary, private controls are permanent. Or D. Public controls are government imposed, private controls are owner imposed. The answer is D. Public controls are government imposed, private controls are owner imposed. Public land use controls are government-imposed regulations like zoning laws, whereas private controls are agreements or restrictions set by property owners, such as covenants or easements. How do zoning laws affect property use in Louisiana? Is it A. They designate specific areas for different types of use? B. They eliminate all private land restrictions? C. They increase property taxes based on usage? Or D. They grant free development rights to all landowners? The answer is A. They designate specific areas for different types of use. Zoning laws designate specific areas for residential, commercial, industrial, or other uses, ensuring that land is used in a way that benefits the community and minimizes conflicts between different land uses. What role do covenants play in private land use control in Louisiana? Is it A. They are used to enforce public zoning laws? B. They grant exclusive development rights to the government? C. They impose restrictions agreed upon by property owners? Or D. They allow unrestricted land use by all property owners? The answer is C. They impose restrictions agreed upon by property owners. Covenants are legally binding agreements between property owners that impose restrictions or obligations on property use, ensuring consistency and maintaining property values within a community. How does a restrictive covenant in Louisiana affect property use? Is it A. They allow unrestricted property development? B. They impose specific limitations on property use? C. They are enforced by the local government? Or D. They automatically expire after 10 years? The answer is B. They impose specific limitations on property use. Restrictive covenants are private land use controls that limit how a property can be used. They are established by developers or property owners and are enforceable through legal agreements. What is an easement in the context of Louisiana property law? Is it A. A document transferring land ownership? B. A tax imposed on property owners? C. A restriction on property development? Or D. A right to use another's land for a specific purpose? The answer is D. A right to use another's land for a specific purpose. An easement is a legal right to use another's land for a specific purpose. In Louisiana, easements can be public or private, allowing access for utilities or pathways without owning the land. Land use and zoning laws. What is the primary purpose of zoning laws in Louisiana? Is it A. To increase property taxes? B. To regulate land use and promote orderly development? C. To restrict population growth? Or D. To determine property ownership? The answer is B. To regulate land use and promote orderly development. Zoning laws are designed to promote orderly development by separating land uses that might be incompatible, such as industrial and residential areas, thus ensuring community welfare. Which of the following describes the concept of spot zoning in Louisiana? Is it A. Zoning that applies uniformly across a district? B. Zoning that changes the classification of a single parcel? C. Zoning that restricts land use to residential purposes? Or D. Zoning that allows for mixed-use development? The answer is B. Zoning that changes the classification of a single parcel. Spot zoning occurs when a specific parcel of land is zoned differently from surrounding properties, often benefiting a single owner. This can lead to legal challenges if it's seen as arbitrary or not in public interest. What is a variance in the context of zoning laws? Is it A. A change in property ownership? B. A temporary zoning ordinance? C. An exception to zoning regulations? Or D. A new zoning classification? The answer is C. An exception to zoning regulations. A variance is an exception to the zoning ordinance, granted to allow a property owner to use their land in a way that deviates from the zoning regulations, often due to unique circumstances. How does a zoning ordinance impact property development in Louisiana? Is it A, by increasing property taxes, B, by determining property boundaries, C, by setting building codes, or D, by regulating land use and building types? The answer is D, by regulating land use and building types. Zoning ordinances dictate the types of structures that can be built, their location, and use, ensuring development aligns with community planning goals and land use policies. What is the role of a planning commission in Louisiana's zoning process? Is it A, to review and recommend zoning changes, B, to enforce building codes, C, to issue building permits, or D, to manage property sales? The answer is A, to review and recommend zoning changes. The Planning Commission reviews and makes recommendations on zoning changes, ensuring developments align with the community's comprehensive plan and zoning regulations. Condominiums and HOAs. What is a key responsibility of a homeowners association in a Louisiana condominium community? Is it A, enforcing individual unit design changes, B, maintaining common areas, C, setting individual property tax rates, or D, providing individual unit insurance? The answer is B, maintaining common areas. HOAs in Louisiana are responsible for maintaining common areas to ensure they meet community standards and enhance property values. This includes landscaping, pool maintenance, and other shared amenities. In Louisiana, which document typically outlines the rules and regulations of a condominium community? Is it A, condominium declaration, B, unit title, C, lease agreement, or D, purchase contract? The answer is A, condominium declaration. The condominium declaration is the foundational document that outlines the rules, regulations, and governance of the condominium community, including the rights and responsibilities of the unit owners. How does the Louisiana Condominium Act impact property ownership in a condominium? Is it A, by setting property tax rates, B, by managing individual unit sales, C, by enforcing building codes, or D, by providing a legal framework for condominiums? The answer is D, by providing a legal framework for condominiums. The Louisiana Condominium Act provides a legal framework for the creation, management, and termination of condominiums, ensuring that property rights and responsibilities are clearly defined for all owners. What is the purpose of a reserve fund in a Louisiana HOA-managed condominium? Is it A, to pay for daily operational costs, B, to finance community events, C, to cover major repairs and replacements, or D, to reduce individual unit insurance premiums? The answer is C, to cover major repairs and replacements. A reserve fund is essential for covering major repairs and replacements in a condominium community, ensuring that funds are available for significant unforeseen expenses without imposing sudden assessments on homeowners.
Notice the code in the corner? When you're stumped by a question, enter it at birdsy.ai for immediate help. Enjoy complimentary study sessions and access to hundreds of additional questions to help you pass your exam with confidence.
Environmental issues and coastal land management. What is a key environmental concern affecting property ownership in coastal Louisiana? Is it A, air pollution, B, deforestation, C, coastal erosion, or D, desertification? The answer is C, coastal erosion. Coastal erosion is a significant issue in Louisiana, impacting property boundaries and value. It results from natural processes and human activities, leading to loss of land and habitat. Which legal measure is most commonly used in Louisiana to protect wetlands? Is it A, conservation easements, B, zoning ordinances, C, eminent domain, or D, tax incentives? The answer is A, conservation easements. Conservation easements are legal agreements that restrict land use to protect natural resources, commonly used in Louisiana to preserve wetlands and prevent development. How does the Louisiana Coastal Protection and Restoration Authority primarily aim to address land loss? Is it A, increasing urban development, B, restoring natural processes, C, implementing stricter zoning laws, or D, promoting tourism? The answer is B, restoring natural processes. The authority focuses on restoring natural processes and constructing protective infrastructure to combat land loss, such as through sediment diversion and barrier island restoration. What is a significant challenge in managing land use in Louisiana's coastal areas? Is it A, increasing agricultural output, B, expanding urban infrastructure, C, improving transportation networks, or D, balancing development with conservation? The answer is D, balancing development with conservation. Balancing economic development with environmental protection is challenging due to competing interests, requiring careful planning and sustainable practices to protect ecosystems while supporting growth. Louisiana Agency Law and Ethics. Agency relationship laws. What is the primary duty of a real estate agent under Louisiana agency law? Is it A, to act in the best interest of their client, B, to maximize their commission, C, to ensure a quick sale, or D, to provide legal advice? The answer is A, to act in the best interest of their client. The primary duty of a real estate agent is to act in the best interest of their client, providing loyalty, care, and full disclosure. This fiduciary duty is fundamental to agency relationships. Which of the following is not a fiduciary duty owed by agents in Louisiana? Is it A, loyalty, B, disclosure, C, accounting, or D, providing financing? The answer is D, providing financing. Fiduciary duties include loyalty, care, disclosure, obedience, and accounting. Providing financing is not a fiduciary duty and should be handled by financial professionals. In Louisiana, what must an agent disclose to a prospective buyer about a property? Is it A, the seller's minimum price, B, all known material defects, C, the neighborhood's crime rate, or D, the reason for the seller's move? The answer is B, all known material defects. Agents must disclose all known material defects about a property. This ensures buyers make informed decisions and protects agents from potential liability. How does Louisiana law define the relationship between an agent and their client? Is it A, contractual, B, transactional, C, fiduciary, or D, advisory? The answer is C. Louisiana law defines this relationship as a fiduciary one, meaning the agent must act in the best interest of the client, adhering to duties of loyalty, care, and disclosure. Fiduciary duties and client representation. What is the primary fiduciary duty of an agent when representing a client in Louisiana real estate transactions? Is it A, loyalty to the client, B, maximizing personal commission, C, securing the highest sale price, or D, ensuring quick transaction closure? The answer is A, loyalty to the client. The primary fiduciary duty of an agent is to act in the best interest of the client, which includes loyalty, confidentiality, and full disclosure. This ensures that the client's needs and preferences are prioritized. Under Louisiana agency law, what must an agent do if they discover a conflict of interest after accepting a client? Is it A, ignore the conflict, B, terminate the representation immediately, C, disclose the conflict to the client, or D, consult with a third-party mediator. The answer is C. Disclose the conflict to the client. Agents must disclose any conflicts of interest to the client promptly. This allows the client to make informed decisions about continuing the representation. Which fiduciary duty requires an agent to keep a client's information confidential even after the agency relationship ends? Is it A, loyalty, B, obedience, C, disclosure, or D, confidentiality? The answer is D, confidentiality. Confidentiality is a fiduciary duty that extends beyond the termination of the agency relationship to protect the client's privacy and interests. In Louisiana, how should an agent handle a situation where they are asked to provide legal advice during a real estate transaction? Is it A, provide the advice if confident, B, refer the client to a licensed attorney, C, offer advice based on past experiences, or D, ignore the request? The answer is B, refer the client to a licensed attorney. Agents must refrain from providing legal advice as it exceeds their professional scope. Instead, they should recommend consulting a qualified attorney. Louisiana Ethics Guidelines and Enforcement. What is the primary purpose of the Louisiana Real Estate Commission's enforcement of ethics guidelines? Is it A, to increase real estate transaction volume, B, to protect the public and ensure professionalism, C, to provide more business opportunities for agents, or D, to increase state revenue through fines? The answer is B, to protect the public and ensure professionalism. The Louisiana Real Estate Commission enforces ethics guidelines to protect the public by ensuring real estate professionals adhere to high standards of honesty, integrity, and professionalism. Which of the following actions would most likely violate Louisiana's real estate ethics guidelines? Is it A, providing accurate property details, B, disclosing all known property defects to buyers, C, misrepresenting property details to a potential buyer, or D, ensuring all agreements are in writing? The answer is C, misrepresenting property details to a potential buyer. Misrepresentation of property details is a direct violation of ethical guidelines, as it can mislead clients and harm the integrity of the real estate profession. How does the Louisiana Real Estate Commission ensure compliance with ethics guidelines? Is it A, through audits and investigations, B, by increasing licensing fees, C, by offering incentives for ethical behavior, or D, by reducing the number of licenses issued? The answer is A, through audits and investigations. The Commission conducts regular audits and investigations to ensure compliance with ethics guidelines, maintaining the integrity and trustworthiness of the real estate industry. What is a potential consequence for a Louisiana real estate agent found guilty of an ethics violation? Is it A, increased commission rates, B, more business opportunities, C, a public commendation, or D, license suspension or revocation? The answer is D, license suspension or revocation. An agent found guilty of an ethics violation can face disciplinary actions such as fines, license suspension, or revocation, depending on the severity of the violation. Louisiana Property Valuation. Basic principles of property valuation. Which approach to property valuation is most commonly used when valuing single-family residences in Louisiana? Is it A, sales comparison approach, B, cost approach, C, income approach, or D, residual approach? The answer is A, sales comparison approach. The sales comparison approach is typically used for single-family residences as it relies on comparing similar properties that have been sold recently, reflecting market conditions. What is the principle of substitution in property valuation? Is it A, a property's value is based on its historical cost, B. Value is determined by the cost of acquiring a substitute property. C. The value decreases over time due to depreciation. Or D. A property's value is fixed and does not change. The answer is B. Value is determined by the cost of acquiring a substitute property. The principle of substitution states that a property's value is determined by the cost of acquiring an equivalent substitute property, assuming no undue delay. In Louisiana property valuation, what does the term highest and best use imply? Is it A, the current use of the property, B, the use that minimizes tax liability, C, the most profitable legally permissible use, or D, the use that maximizes historical value? The answer is C, the most profitable legally permissible use. Highest and best use refers to the most profitable use of a property that is legally permissible, physically possible, and financially feasible. How does the principle of conformity affect property values in a neighborhood? Is it A, properties achieve maximum value when similar to others nearby? B, properties should be unique to stand out? C, value is unaffected by neighboring properties? Or D, only commercial properties are affected by conformity? The answer is A, properties achieve maximum value when similar to others nearby. The principle of conformity suggests that properties achieve maximum value when they are similar to others in the neighborhood, promoting harmony and stability in the area. Sales comparison, cost, and income approaches. Which approach to property valuation is most suitable for a newly constructed residential property in Louisiana? Is it A, sales comparison approach, B, cost approach, C, income approach, or D, market analysis approach? The answer is B, cost approach. The cost approach is most suitable for new constructions as it estimates the value based on the cost to build the property anew, including land value and depreciation considerations. In the sales comparison approach, what is the primary factor considered when adjusting comparable sales? Is it A, property age, B, market trends, C, property features, or D, zoning laws? The answer is C, property features. Adjustments in the sales comparison approach are primarily made for differences in property features, such as size, location, and condition, to align comparables more closely with the subject property. What is the main advantage of using the income approach for valuing a commercial property in Louisiana? Is it A, direct correlation to income potential, B, simplicity in calculation, C, focus on property aesthetics, or D, ease of data collection? The answer is A, direct correlation to income potential. The income approach is advantageous for commercial properties as it directly correlates the property's value to its income-generating potential, using methods like direct capitalization or discounted cash flow analysis. How does depreciation factor into the cost approach for property valuation? Is it A, it increases the property's value, B, it is ignored in new constructions, C, it is added to the land value, or D, it reduces the replacement cost? The answer is D, it reduces the replacement cost. Depreciation accounts for the reduction in value due to wear and tear, age, or obsolescence, and it is subtracted from the replacement cost to determine a more accurate property value.
Don't forget to comment below with your tips, challenges, and thoughts on exam preparation. Your experiences can make a big difference for others.
Louisiana financing. Mortgage loans and financing options. What is the primary purpose of a mortgage in Louisiana financing? Is it A, to increase property value, B, to secure a loan with property as collateral, C, to transfer property ownership, or D, to refinance existing debt? The answer is B, to secure a loan with property as collateral. A mortgage in Louisiana serves as a legal agreement where property is used as collateral for a loan, ensuring the lender can reclaim the property if the borrower defaults. Which type of mortgage is most commonly used for home purchases in Louisiana? Is it A, fixed-rate mortgage, B, adjustable-rate mortgage, C, balloon mortgage, or D, interest-only mortgage? The answer is A, fixed-rate mortgage. Fixed-rate mortgages are the most common for home purchases in Louisiana, offering borrowers predictable payments over the life of the loan, which is typically 15 or 30 years. What is a unique feature of a VA loan available in Louisiana? Is it A, requires high down payment, B, offers adjustable interest rates only, C, mandates private mortgage insurance, or D, no down payment required? The answer is D, no down payment required. VA loans, available to veterans, offer benefits such as no down payment requirement and no private mortgage insurance, making homeownership more accessible for eligible service members. How does an FHA loan benefit first-time homebuyers in Louisiana? Is it A, requires high credit score, B, high down payment requirements, C, lower down payment and lenient credit requirements, or D, strict income verification? The answer is C, lower down payment and lenient credit requirements. FHA loans are beneficial for first-time homebuyers in Louisiana due to their lower down payment requirements and more lenient credit score criteria, making homeownership more accessible. Loan applications and approval processes. What is a key requirement for a mortgage lender to approve a loan application in Louisiana? Is it A, a minimum credit score of 850, B, proof of stable income, C, ownership of previous property, or D, a co-signer with perfect credit? The answer is B, proof of stable income. In Louisiana, lenders typically require proof of stable income to assess the applicant's ability to repay the loan. This helps mitigate the risk of default. Which document is essential for verifying the identity of a loan applicant in Louisiana? Is it A, government-issued photo ID, B, Social Security card, C, utility bill, or D, credit report? The answer is A, government-issued photo ID. A government-issued photo ID is crucial for verifying an applicant's identity, ensuring the lender complies with legal requirements and prevents fraud. How does a lender in Louisiana determine the loan-to-value ratio? Is it A, by assessing the borrower's credit score, B, by evaluating the borrower's income stability, C, by checking the property's tax history, or D, by dividing the loan amount by the appraised property value? The answer is D, by dividing the loan amount by the appraised property value. The LTV ratio is calculated by dividing the loan amount by the appraised property value, helping lenders assess risk and determine loan eligibility. What is the role of a mortgage underwriter in the loan approval process in Louisiana? Is it A, to negotiate interest rates with applicants, B, to conduct home inspections, C, to assess the risk of the loan application, or D, to finalize the loan agreement? The answer is C, to assess the risk of the loan application. A mortgage underwriter evaluates the risk associated with a loan application, ensuring the applicant meets the lender's criteria and assessing the likelihood of repayment. Louisiana mortgage disclosure requirements. What is the primary purpose of the Louisiana Mortgage Disclosure Act? Is it A, to increase state revenue through taxes, B, to ensure transparency in mortgage transactions, C, to regulate the real estate market, or D, to promote property sales? The answer is B, to ensure transparency in mortgage transactions. The Louisiana Mortgage Disclosure Act ensures transparency in mortgage transactions by requiring lenders to provide borrowers with clear and accurate information about loan terms and costs. Which document must lenders provide to borrowers under the Louisiana Mortgage Disclosure Act? Is it A, property appraisal report, B, title insurance policy, C, good faith estimate, or D, credit score report? The answer is C, good faith estimate. Lenders must provide a good faith estimate to disclose the estimated costs of the mortgage, ensuring borrowers are informed about their financial obligations. Under the Louisiana Mortgage Disclosure Act, when must the good faith estimate be provided to the borrower? Is it A, within 3 business days of the loan application, B, at the time of closing, C, 1 week after loan approval, or D, within 30 days of application? The answer is A, within 3 business days of the loan application. The good faith estimate must be provided within 3 business days of the loan application, ensuring borrowers have timely information to make informed decisions. What is the consequence for a lender failing to comply with the Louisiana Mortgage Disclosure Act? Is it A, increased interest rates for borrowers, B, mandatory loan cancellation, C, borrower credit score impact, or D, penalties and potential legal action? The answer is D, penalties and potential legal action. Noncompliance can result in penalties and potential legal action, emphasizing the importance of adherence to consumer protection laws. Louisiana-specific loan programs. Which of the following is a unique feature of the Louisiana Housing Corporation's market rate GNMA program? Is it A, offers a fixed interest rate for 40 years, B, provides up to 4% down payment assistance, C, available exclusively for first-time homebuyers, or D, requires a minimum credit score of 800? The answer is B, provides up to 4% down payment assistance. The LHC market rate GNMA program provides down payment assistance up to 4% of the loan amount, making homeownership more accessible by reducing upfront costs for eligible buyers. What is the primary aim of the Louisiana Homeownership Assistance Program? Is it A, to increase homeownership among low to moderate income families, B, to provide tax incentives for real estate investors, C, to offer interest-free loans to all Louisiana residents, or D, to support the construction of new commercial properties? The answer is A, to increase homeownership among low to moderate income families. The Louisiana Homeownership Assistance Program aims to increase homeownership rates among low to moderate income families by providing financial assistance for down payments and closing costs. Which Louisiana-specific loan program is specifically designed to assist teachers, police, and firefighters? Is it A, Louisiana First-Time Homebuyer Program, B, LHC Market Rate Program, C, Louisiana Heroes Program, or D, Community Development Block Grant Program? The answer is C, Louisiana Heroes Program. The Louisiana Heroes Program is tailored to help teachers, police, and firefighters by offering them favorable loan terms, including reduced interest rates and down payment assistance, to support their homeownership. What is a key eligibility requirement for the Louisiana Bond Program? Is it A, must be a first-time homebuyer, B, must purchase a newly constructed home, C, must have a credit score above 750, or D, must meet specific income limits? The answer is D, must meet specific income limits. The Louisiana Bond Program requires that applicants must meet specific income limits, ensuring that the program benefits low to moderate income families seeking affordable home ownership. Louisiana Housing Corporation. What is the primary mission of the Louisiana Housing Corporation? Is it A, to regulate the state's real estate market, B. To manage all public housing facilities. C. To ensure every citizen has access to affordable housing. Or D. To oversee the construction of luxury homes. The answer is C. To ensure every citizen has access to affordable housing. The Louisiana Housing Corporation aims to ensure that every citizen of Louisiana has access to affordable and safe housing. This involves providing resources and assistance to develop and sustain housing opportunities. Which program is specifically designed by the LHC to assist first-time homebuyers? Is it A. Homeowner Rehabilitation Program, B. Market Rate GNMA Program, C. Low-Income Housing Tax Credit Program, or D. Disaster Recovery Housing Program? The answer is B. Market Rate GNMA Program. The LHC offers the Market Rate GNMA Program to help first-time homebuyers by providing affordable interest rates and down payment assistance, making homeownership more accessible. How does the Louisiana Housing Corporation support affordable rental housing? Is it A. By providing low-income housing tax credits to developers, B. By offering subsidies directly to tenants, C. By constructing rental units directly, or D. By regulating rental prices statewide? The answer is A. By providing low-income housing tax credits to developers. The LHC supports affordable rental housing through the Low-Income Housing Tax Credit Program, which incentivizes developers to create and maintain affordable rental units. What role does the Louisiana Housing Corporation play in disaster recovery? Is it A. Overseeing federal disaster funds distribution, B. Providing loans to businesses affected by disasters, C. Implementing insurance policies for disaster-prone areas, or D. Offering housing assistance and resources for rebuilding? The answer is D. Offering housing assistance and resources for rebuilding. The LHC plays a crucial role in disaster recovery by providing housing assistance and resources to rebuild and repair homes affected by natural disasters, ensuring safe and stable housing for affected residents.
If you're finding this helpful, please take a minute to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more practice exams, useful tips, and complimentary study sessions with Birdsy.
Louisiana disclosure requirements and forms. Louisiana-specific disclosure requirements. Which of the following is a mandatory disclosure form required by Louisiana law when selling residential real estate? Is it A. Lead-based paint disclosure, B. Property disclosure document, C. Environmental hazard disclosure, or D. Flood zone disclosure? The answer is B. Property disclosure document. The property disclosure document is required in Louisiana to inform buyers of known defects. This ensures buyers are aware of the property's condition before purchase. What is the primary purpose of the Louisiana Residential Property Disclosure Act? Is it A. To ensure sellers disclose known property defects, B. To mandate environmental inspections, C. To provide a market analysis, or D. To regulate real estate agent commissions? The answer is A. To ensure sellers disclose known property defects. The Act's primary purpose is to ensure transparency by requiring sellers to disclose known property defects, protecting buyers from unforeseen issues. In Louisiana, when must the property disclosure document be provided to a potential buyer? Is it A. After the purchase agreement is signed, B. During the closing process, C. Before the buyer makes a purchase offer, or D. After the home inspection? The answer is C. Before the buyer makes a purchase offer. The disclosure must be provided before the buyer makes a purchase offer, ensuring they have full knowledge of any property issues. What is the consequence if a seller in Louisiana fails to provide the required property disclosure document? Is it A. The sale is automatically void, B. the seller is fined by the state. C. The buyer must accept the property as is. Or D. The buyer may terminate the contract. The answer is D. The buyer may terminate the contract. Failure to provide the disclosure can result in the buyer having grounds to terminate the contract or seek legal remedies. Commonly used Louisiana forms. Which form is commonly used in Louisiana to disclose the condition of a property to potential buyers? Is it A. Lease agreement, B. Purchase agreement, C. Property disclosure document, or D. Inspection report? The answer is C. Property disclosure document. The property disclosure document is a mandatory form in Louisiana, providing detailed information on the property's condition, ensuring transparency, and protecting buyers from undisclosed issues. What is the primary purpose of the Louisiana Residential Property Disclosure Form? Is it A. to disclose known material defects, B. to outline financial terms of the sale, C. to establish property boundaries, or D. to provide a market value estimate? The answer is A. to disclose known material defects. The primary purpose of this form is to ensure that sellers disclose known material defects about the property, promoting informed decision-making by buyers. When must the Louisiana Residential Property Disclosure Form be provided to a buyer? Is it A. after closing, B. before signing the purchase agreement, C. during the final walkthrough, or D. within 30 days of listing the property? The answer is B. before signing the purchase agreement. The form must be provided before the signing of the purchase agreement, allowing buyers to make informed decisions based on disclosed property conditions. Which of the following is not typically included in the Louisiana Residential Property Disclosure Form? Is it A. roof condition, B. plumbing issues, C. presence of lead paint, or D. outstanding mortgage balance? The answer is D. outstanding mortgage balance. The form focuses on material defects and property condition, not financial information like mortgage details, which are handled separately. Specific procedures for transactions. What is the primary purpose of the Louisiana Property Disclosure Document in a real estate transaction? Is it A. to set the price of the property, B. to inform buyers of known property defects, C. to list the property on the NMLS, or D. to transfer property ownership? The answer is B. to inform buyers of known property defects. The Louisiana Property Disclosure Document is designed to inform potential buyers of any known defects or issues with the property, ensuring transparency and reducing the risk of future disputes. In Louisiana, when must the property disclosure form be provided to a prospective buyer? Is it A. before the buyer makes an offer, B. after the closing date, C. at the open house, or D. during the home inspection? The answer is A. before the buyer makes an offer. The property disclosure form must be provided before the buyer makes an offer, allowing them to make an informed decision based on the property's condition. Which of the following is not typically included in a Louisiana property disclosure form? Is it A. environmental hazards, B. legal issues affecting the property, C. current market value, or D. structural defects? The answer is C. current market value. The disclosure form generally includes structural defects, environmental hazards, and legal issues, but not the property's market value, which is assessed separately. Who is responsible for completing the property disclosure form in Louisiana? Is it A. the buyer, B. the seller, C. the real estate agent, or D. the home inspector? The answer is B. the seller. The seller is responsible for completing the disclosure form, as they are most familiar with the property's history and any issues that need to be disclosed.
Thanks for joining us today. If you found this video helpful, subscribe to our channel for more practice exams, tips, and tricks. And don't forget to visit Birdsy.ai for complimentary study sessions with Birdsy, your AI-powered study partner.